So, is the Action Force Special Deployment Series Steel Brigade really worth getting if you already have the Series 1 Steel Brigade? Keep watching to find out. Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at Valaverse's Action Force Special Deployment Series Steel Brigade. Yes, this isn't even just a repaint, it's the new mold of it, but it does come with the new officer head, I think is what it is. Either way, I wanted to review it. So anyway, before we get started, you know the deal. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a new video. So anyway, let's get into this. So yes, this is it's not really a repaint because the same color, but it is supposed to use a new plastic, and that's what we're going to take a look at. So we'll review the figure again quickly, but more than anything, I'm going to take them and I'm going to review them against the Steel Brigade that came out in Series 1, see if it's actually different. So, box is completely different. The outside of it looks different. Again, Steel Brigade. Everything is the same other than it gives you a gold mask, which I believe is like an officer. And then here we have the artwork. Again, I do like the artwork. It fits. It's nice. It all fits in a line if that's how you want to display your stuff. And on the back, no more cross-sell. Again, here's the actual figure, and then here is his file card. Again, I like having a file card. It's cool. It's how things should be. And I've never really mentioned there are these valid points, or action points, whatever they're called. Supposedly they'll eventually be used. Who knows if they really will be. So anyway, there's no more reason to really look at this figure in this plastic prison. Let's take a look at it and go from there. Alright, so here we have the figure out. Let me just tell you the magic of camera work is that you can see the absolute disaster that my desk is right now, along with all the figures that are just piled around it. So quickly, again, here is the box. I'm showing you this. Again, if you haven't seen an Action Force, they do come with a cover on top of it. Then they got this plastic shield that's supposed to help prevent the plastic from rubbing off. Again, I've never had an issue. I do think they use a little bit too much more plastic. Maybe Hasbro has to make up for how much plastic they're using. So here's the figure. He is up. As you can see, there is a hand missing, and that is because, again, another part of the magic of making videos is the order that they come out may not be exactly the order that you're seeing them. So if you keep watching throughout the days, you'll understand why he is missing a hand. So, but quickly, we'll get into it. He comes with the Action Force stand. Again, I don't really use these. They stand pretty well without them. They have 4 pegs, which is nice. He has the Action Force logo, and they have a slit in the top so I can throw it. So you can put the file card. As I said, these are nice stands for the most part. But the bad thing is they are huge, and they take up a huge footprint. They're just high. I don't like them. I think they look gawky. Even if I was using stands, other than if I was just posing the figure like this with the file card, I don't think that I would use them. So this figure comes with the exact same stuff as the original one. So he's got the same rifle with a grenade launcher, removable magazines. I really don't feel a huge difference in this. It's still a fairly brittle gun. If you put too much pressure on it, you will snap off the stock or different things like that. He comes with, I'm just going to show you quickly, he comes with 2 thumb wrestling hands, which I got here. He comes with 2 cupping hands and 2 fist hands. And the reason I'm not showing you them all is because of a video that will be coming out later on, and you'll understand when you see it. Alright, so we'll take a look at the figure. Again, he's missing a hand. I'm planning on using the cupping hand for him. So you understand, I put lotion on just before this, so everything is kind of slipping out of my hand. So as I mentioned in the previous Valaverse special deployment videos, the hands go in way easier now. So before you'd have to struggle to get it in here. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now. So if you take this is from just a plain trooper from Series 1. You want to plug it in here. It is almost impossible to get it so it's not loose. It doesn't fit in properly. You hear me actually struggling? So now, the new ones, which they have modified, and this was a huge gripe of mine, you hear that? It pops in exactly where it's supposed to. No issues. There was no mention of this. I've never heard a single person talk about this. I'm not saying no one has, but I've never heard anyone complain about this other than myself. To me, whether he did it on purpose or it was accident, it is a welcome design change. The hand here, here's the trigger finger. I'll show you. As I mentioned, it comes off really easy, and I have lotion on my hands, so there's a good chance that it's going to slip. So I decided to make this guy a righty. Pops in nice and easily. And we'll look at the articulation. So again, T-pose, decent. Again, this is going to be a continued gripe until he fixes the shoulder issue. And a figure like this, it's not all that bad. You could kind of say, hey, those are, shoulder guards or something. But on a figure, it's just a gap. It's supposed to be the shoulder going into it. It doesn't look right. And on promo pictures, they're not there. Looking here, no issues. Bending, hands twist, moving back and forth. Again, they're so much softer. Knees, no issues there. As I mentioned before, and I'll mention on all of them, this strap here does get in the way, so you can't kick your butt. But again, I can't do that in real life, so I'm not overly concerned about that. You have the boot cut, you have the thigh swivel, no problems, and the ankle rockers. Just stand him up really quick. And then you have the other thing is the new helmet. This is the only reason why I actually purchased this figure, so I could get the new helmet. And the heads pop off so much easier than previous figures. So clearly, they've taken everything to heart, in my opinion, or someone has, that these things were going to be a problem, especially going forward down the road, years down the road. The plastic's going to get bad. So this is how I'm going to be displaying them, because I already have this one here. All right, so he comes with his sidearm, which is not a futuristic weapon. It is a real world weapon. I don't know what it's called. It does look futuristic, but it also looks pretty awesome. And I do like the way it holsters in. Now, if I remember correctly, these ones, well, maybe not. Maybe it was the other ones. One of them makes a nice little popping sound when you put it on. As I mentioned, here's his rifle. It's got some nice paint apps to it. There's just not a bland one color. I do like that. I understand military weapons may not all be like that, but I do like the way it looks. They really shouldn't have the trigger with maybe just a hint of black. That would have been pretty nice. Here he has his little knife. As you can see, it looks sharp. It's got a black handle. That's going to go right on the back. I can tell you this, you start to lose them. I know I'm missing one of them. I have no idea where it is. All right, so we'll look at the paint apps here. So he's got nice painted buckles, so it breaks up the boot. As you roll down, you got the knee pads. I think these knee pads look really small, but maybe because I'm used to seeing what skateboard knee pads look like, but these look like A grown-up trying to wear little kid knee pads. Here he has his med pack. Oops. His med pack. It's got 3 different paint apps on it. This gun holster, I like the way that it comes out. It looks really nice. I'm not sure if that's real world, the way that it comes out, or if it's just supposed to be a little bit futuristic. And here we have his vest. Steel Brigade symbol right there. It looks weathered. That's the one thing I definitely like about it. And let's see if we can pull out. So the magazines seem to come out. Again, lotion on my hands. Magazine comes out nice and easy. Here he has some paint apps up here. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Maybe glow sticks. Looks like he has a zipper here. Or is that a blade? Oh, that's a blade, I believe. I don't know. But everything looks really nice on it. I love the wear and tear on it. And you go around to the back. Here you have your elbow pads. The gloves have a little bit of color, and that's the reason why I wanted to use this for the figure that you don't see yet. But then you get to the helmet, and the helmet is the exact same. He's going to get a lot of use out of this helmet. But the fact that you just paint it a little bit different, it gives you a completely different feel of a figure. Same way Hasbro does with the different Cobra figures, like the Vipers and stuff like that. But the paint apps on both of them look really nice. There's no splotchiness that I can see. They're right where it's supposed to be. It's not like looking at a Super 7 piece of crap where, you don't know how it's going to look. It's going to be all over the place, and Brian Flynn's just going to say, what am I supposed to do about it? All right. So now the big question that people wonder. What is the difference between the Special Deployment Series and Series 1? So what I'm going to do is we are going to remove the weapon, and we'll take a look at a couple things. So this is Series 1. First, just looking at the cupping hand, if I take my thumb and I just don't shake, and I push down, yeah, I can flex it, but it is hard. All right. If I take this one here, I cup it, it just pushes down nice and easy. As I mentioned, feels more like a Hasbro figure. You always gotta be careful. I haven't really moved any of these in a while. Oh, I guess I forgot to point out. Yes. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Drop down hips. These definitely do feel tighter. All right, so just to get the knee, you hear that? You can hear the different type of plastic that they're using. So it's like you can hear and you can feel the difference. No issues there. So I'm trying to bend the knee here, and it's bending because it's already been broken in, but it still is a really, really tight feel, a tight fit. Doing the boot cut, I can just feel the difference. I'm not about to pull off one of these hands because who knows what might happen to it. When you bend here, you can hear the way it snaps around. Where in this one here, there's nothing. A little bit of noise, but there's a smooth feel when you move the figure around. So now the biggest thing is, as you can see, my Series 1, there was no way that I'm getting this on here. Now, someone did mention to me on my blowback video to heat it up in hot water for about 30 seconds, take a pencil, push through the hole, and then try and push this down. I'm going to give it a try. The way that I see it is I can't get this back on anyway. So what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to make the hole too big and it doesn't fit. That's what she said. So let's take a look because these are my figures. So I'm going to pop it off here. Now we can look here. It still has the same mushroom. This was supposed to have been rectified. And let's see here. Now, I don't see what he changed He talked about how he made changes here. I'll try and move this here. He said that he made changes. I feel like I've seen changes on the newer vests, but here I seem to be having. All right, so that one actually went in, like it is a softer plastic there, and then, all right, so there you go. I feel like I've done 3 videos where I've kind of talked about this, and I seem to be making a fool of myself every time because they tend to go in. So this one went in. So I will once again give this a shot here. These big mushroom heads here, and the holes here, I don't know, maybe they're just too small. You know, I feel sorry for the little kids that are trying to fix these, who were trying to do these originally. So this here, I'm not going to struggle with. I'm going to do exactly what the subscriber suggested. Heat it up, try and make the hole a little bit bigger there, and then slide it in. One of the biggest gripes about, you know, Series 1, but I'm telling you, just the way I bounced away these. But you hear that? There's just, maybe it doesn't come off on camera. It's hard to say. But when you have these 2 in hand, you're going to feel a complete difference. Now, am I going to tell you to go out and buy another figure just so you can have one that's softer and feels better? I don't think so. $32 is a hefty price, although at least he does give you a different head, so it gives you something different. But that's the Steel Brigade video. I mean, there's only so much that I can show you. These, you know, these Action Force figures are all pretty much the same. Again, they stand well for the most part. You can get them on one. Even play with it, they don't drop. And I truly do believe that's because of how the boot is made. And I believe all the boots have the same footprint. And it's just a really well-designed footprint. I guess I forgot to show. So here, perfect example. Goes on absolutely perfect. No issues. The peg goes right around the hole. Series 1 is... Alright, so that is me. So that is me pushing down as hard as I could. And as you can see, the foot does not go down all the way because the pegs here, the holes are too small. And once again, I can take this one, slide it right down, and it's exactly where it's supposed to. So again, something that was, I think, fixed in Series 2, but definitely a change. So we'll wrap this up so you guys can move on with your day. All right, so there you have it. That is the Special Deployment Series, Steel Brigade, and also a comparison compared to Series 1. And honestly, the figure looks the exact same. Is there a difference between the way they pose and the way they move? It is night and day. This figure is much looser, and not in a bad way, but it does move smoother all around. Is it worth spending another $32? Well, it's an army builder, so you can get away with it, and you get a different head. Will I be buying another Keurig and Bone Collector? No. Will I be buying another Airborne? Condor? No. Those are one-offs. That's one figure. I'm not going to spend another $32. But when they do re-release them, if you don't have Series 1, or if you're waiting, if you're deciding, personally, unless you're trying to get something, unless you're trying to grab something for the value, hoping Series 1 is going to go up in value, and I definitely could see it going up in value later on down the road, I would skip it. I'd wait for the Special Deployment Series because the breakage is going to be 10 times better or 10 times less. You can remove the hands really easy, especially if you're a toy photographer. You're going to be able to switch those hands out. Extremely, extremely nice, easy. You're going to love it. Again, nice figure. I really like the Steel Brigade. This guy goes as an army that is absolutely wonderful. It's much better than the Steel Brigade. Not the look of the Steel Brigade, but the fact that I can't pull his head off without his everything popping, breaking right off. And if you wonder what I'm talking about, I'll drop a link to that video and you can see exactly the BS that this was. And I'm not the only one that had the problem. But the thing that I can say about Valaverse, the Action Force figures, is honest to God, he has truly made strides from Series 1 to Series 2 and now on to Series 3 and the Special Deployment Series. From what I see is he actually takes into heart the criticism that people have. Now, I know that's hard to believe, and I'll mention it again because if you watch videos, they're perfect figures. So I don't know how you perfect a perfect figure, but for some odd reason, he was able to. Again, that's just me bitching. I started these videos with Valaverse because they were either perfect, nothing was wrong with them, or they were awful, they were crap, they were shit. Well, how can it be one or the other? It's got to be somewhere in the middle. And that's what you're going to get here with me for sure. Again, I see a change. The plastic is better. Removing the hands is better. You're not going to have to worry about the weapons breaking as much or trying to break a finger. You will break. Series 1, you're going to break off the wrist pegs over and over and over. It's a huge issue. You're going to take off that vest. You're not going to get them back on without a fight. And I mean a fight. So I'm going to get out of here. You know the deal. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button. Always hit that like button because it tells YouTube, hey, you know what? Someone liked this video. We're going to push it out. Hit that bell notification because guess what? There's a boatload of videos coming out. There's always videos coming out. You see the figures I review. You want to know when I get them, when that review goes out. The social medias is Punk with Toys on Instagram and Twitter. This is my call to action for everything. Facebook group, Punks with Toys. I always say have a good day, but you know what? YouTube says, no, you shouldn't do that. You should say, hey, if you're interested in this, I have more of this content right here. So click right here and you'll find the whole list of Valaverse playlists that I have. Have a wonderful day.